a long summer, and it's that time of year again to get myself back on track for university. And this year, sadly, is my final year, so I want to give it my absolute all. And to start strong, I need to be on top form. Okay, Isabella, first things first. We have got to sort out my sleeping pattern. Thankfully, I have just quit my summer job, which was working behind the bar at a club, and this meant 4 nights a week with shifts finishing at 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning, which means I've been sleeping all day, sometimes till 2 to 3 p.m. So to reverse my body clock back to reasonable hours, I've got to do that one mega early rise so that hopefully I can fall asleep around 12, which is semi-reasonable. Yesterday, I had to go to London for a studio recording, which meant I actually had to get up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. It was pretty difficult, but it was a good opportunity to flip my body clock back to normal. As for my preparation tasks over the summer, my group was assigned to read the book Frankenstein and to just come up with some ideas. So I've just finished the book, which I'm really pleased with myself about because I do struggle to finish books, and it had a lot of very rich and sophisticated language, but it was quite interesting. So now I'm just refreshing myself on any notes that I took and jotting down any more ideas, just so that I don't turn up to my first lesson completely empty-handed, because it's not a good impression. And since I'm doing this, it's a good opportunity to sort out all my notebooks for the year and purge any old work that is clogging up my learning. It's very important to get rid of anything that is not serving you, so I quite regularly go through my notes and I keep a file of only vital notes and worksheets and anything that is particularly helpful to enriching my learning and my knowledge, and I just recycle the rest. The abundance of paper that comes with education can be very overwhelming and chaotic, so this is a vital step to decrease stress and simplify. So as you can see, I like to put a cross through pages that are just redundant now, or that I don't like, notes that are not necessary for me to keep a hold of, or I just rip out the whole page itself. And that way, when I'm flipping through my notebooks, I know what's relevant and what's not. Luckily, I already did this step at the end of last term, so there's not much for me to handle here. For this year, I have bought myself this cute Powerpuff Girls notebook for my note-taking in class, and I saw it and I couldn't resist. I love nostalgia, it makes me so happy. I like adding a little bit of colour and personality to my learning because it just makes my notes look more interesting and it's more happy for me to look at, so it's just something. A little something. My lecturers keep us updated through a Facebook page and university emails, which I will admit I should really check more often. But hey, I'm a student. Just to make sure I haven't missed anything important, I'm just catching myself up on any updates and emails to keep myself in the loop. So for example, if I didn't check this, I wouldn't have known that we had a meeting on Wednesday, and also there was another email about preparation costs for the year, which was quite helpful to know about. So it's just very important to stay in the loop. As switched on and enthusiastic as I am about my course, I do have a tendency to drift out of the loop, so I really try hard to stay on top of organisation. And I'm also noting down any important dates and deadlines in advance so that there will be no confusion later. With a new beginning around the corner, I find it really beneficial to refresh my surroundings, to clear the air for new and fresh things to enter into my life. I did this a couple weeks ago by redecorating my room with a little bit more greenery. And yes, most of it is plastic, but it just gives a nice feel to the place anyway. I really like the way my room looks and feels to be in. And David and I get really positive vibes from our new flat, so I know that it's going to be a year filled with growth and happy, amazing memories. And when my space feels good, I'm always more creative and positive. And since refreshing my room, I've actually gone through this little creative spurt already. So I'm hoping that this will propel me into the year with a good attitude to work. My family are so important to me, so I decided to decorate my corkboard with pictures of my mum, my dad, my brother, and some of my best friends. It's just nice to be reminded that I have this love and support behind me wherever I go, and I wanted to be reminded that whenever I sit at my desk or come into my room. So there they are, my wonderful, wonderful favourite people in the world. I remember towards the end of last term getting pretty lazy with my outfits, and although it really doesn't matter what you look like, I personally find a lot of enjoyment in putting thought into my clothes to express creativity and style. So on the acting course, we're required to wear black movement wear only. So this limits my options considerably. For example, I can't wear skirts or dresses or jewelry. I can't even wear jeans really because they're quite restricting to movement. However, I still like to try and spice it up where I can. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time putting together some options and just playing around and being creative and spontaneous with my outfits and my clothing, just so that I'll have a little arsenal of go-to outfits. For my usual university morning routine, I always give myself 45 minutes from getting out of bed to leaving the door. And this is because I try to get the most sleep that I possibly can, and it gives me enough time for the basic tasks of having breakfast and getting ready. Also, a bad habit that I've formed is setting my alarm purposefully early by 20 minutes so that I can snooze it at least twice before getting up. Now, I truly believe that the way you start your morning hugely impacts the rest of your day and thus your life. And I've figured out that snoozing makes me more lethargic throughout the day, and rushing and making lots of decisions in the morning impacts my mental energy and decreases my mental clarity. And this makes no sense because these two things, mental and physical energy, are huge requirements on an acting course, as we are always up on our feet all day, running around, moving our bodies and using our voices, and exerting a lot of emotional and mental energy. And if I want to be at my optimum performance level, I have no choice but to look after myself. So I'm giving myself one goal, which is to get up 30 minutes earlier with no snooze. And I think this no snooze thing is going to be tricky for me because I've already formed a habit of pressing the snooze button, which I sometimes do literally in my sleep without even thinking about it. But I know that bad habits can be broken. I know that habits can be changed and replaced with new ones. It's always better to have a now attitude instead of a in 10 minutes attitude to life. And as for the extra 30 minutes, recently I've really been enjoying starting my day with stretching and some kind of yoga poses. Honestly, I just do what feels good for my body. It's not perfect yoga, it's literally just stretching and doing what my body needs. I do this as soon as I get out of bed, and I've also been incorporating a short 5-minute meditation after my stretching. Almost every self-help book I've read, and it seems like every spiritual teacher under the sun swears by meditation. And although 5 minutes is very short, it makes the action itself easier, which means I'm more likely to actually do it. And then with time and practice, I can elongate these sessions to longer meditations. I know I should be reading more, especially for my course, and there's always new things to be learnt, and there's so many books that I want to read. So I want to incorporate 5 to 10 minutes of reading at the beginning of my day, even if it's just a page with breakfast. I want to make it a part of my morning. And also it's very peaceful. So I calculated that combining these things will take approximately 25 minutes, but I added on an extra 5 minutes just for, you know, the things that go wrong in the morning, like dropping all the cereal on the floor, which happened yesterday. But you know, things happen, so you got to give yourself that extra 5 minutes. I've also took out quite a few library books over the summer, and admittedly I only read a couple of pages of about 2 of them, but it's better than nothing, and I did actually learn a little bit from what I did read. So anyway, I'm putting these all together in a bag so that I don't forget to return them, otherwise I will be paying quite a hefty fine. Okay, my loves, I definitely feel a lot more prepared for the coming year, and I hope that this video was helpful for you also. I really appreciate you being here and watching my videos, so thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!